Swaddy everyone. I got another video just for fun. Hey everybody, it's Edo4 back with another video yet again. And today's topic is going to be about Thailand. Now, kind of like the other video I did for Russia of my favorite people in Russia, this time is going to be about a story of a person I like in Thailand. Not just a person, a group. And it's one of the first groups I got into of Thailand and made me love Thailand music, which their names are Raptor. And here is the story of Raptor. Now, right off the bat, this has been 5 years since I've gotten into the group of Raptor. And the very first time I saw them, it was when I was in Photoshop class, and I saw one of their videos that's called Ya Put Lui, which stands for Please Don't Talk. I will get into that more later, but when I first saw that video, it changed my life. But before we get to that, we gotta start all the way to the beginning. So let's go. Now, the beginning of Raptor is the main leader of it all, Joni Anwar. He was born in August 30th, 1981, while his other friend, Louis Scott, was born in March 4th, 1982, which in Thailand years is 2,525 for Louis and 2,524 for Joni. Now, both of them, they were born in separate places. Joni was born in Bangkok, while Louis, he was born in Kenya, Africa. Now, before 1993 and 1994, before they met each other, they didn't really know much about each other. Although they both went to school with each other, and they both have also done some advertisements here and there, they never really connected or really known each other at that point in time. That's when Raptors come in. The schools that they were both in was the Bangkok Patiana International School. But again, they didn't really know each other yet. But how did the name Raptor came about? Well, it came about after one of the producers of RS, which is a musical company, saw the movie during this time called Jurassic Park, and his name was Suya Tanopo, and that is how the group name Raptor came about. Now, during this time, when it came to the auditions for RS earlier in the year of 93 to even get a musical group that is demographic towards younger teens and kids, at first, like usual auditions, it didn't really go well because a lot of kids, they didn't really have sort of the spark as what to make for a new group. But once Joni Anwar and Louis Scott came into the door, it not only made a perfect fit for them to be together, but also their words were like, hey, you're the kid in school. The way you say it in Thai, ni kan pedikta kunien. That is how you say, hey, you're that kid from the school. Now, when it first came about, they both agreed to be like,
well, okay, sure.
We don't got nothing else to lose. And that is how the group Raptor got started. Now, the next part of it is making the first album and the image. Upon of making the first album, most of their songs, it's concluded of covers from other Thailand artists such as Tao and other groups from RS Promotion. Their first album, self-titled Raptor, was released in August of 1994. There were two covers of it. One of both Joni and Louis standing on a dinosaur hatching egg, having their hands out like this, or also with a peace sign on it. The second album includes the same thing, but the English words of saying, we are the sophomores of rap. And that was basically what they've done for most of the album, and plus the music videos of the albums as well. Now, for their fashion and design, a lot of people have compared them to the American rap group Criss Cross. Although at this time, Criss Cross wasn't necessarily doing the fashion of putting their clothes on backwards. But at that point, they were releasing the bomb, and also their voices have changed very dramatically of puberty. Raptor hasn't really had that happen to them yet. Their styles of Raptor that was very similar to Criss Cross was not only because of the way that they rap, but also the way that they dress were like pretty much of skater clothes and rap clothes at the same time for just these young teenage boys. And they were the hit of the 90s of the fashion. Not to say that their other fashions for their next albums didn't mean 90s, which we will get to that later. So the two most favorite tracks that people really seem to like that's very popular in Thailand is Kitten Te and Friends, which Kitten Te in Thai means missing you, or I'll be thinking of you. Those were very popular because it's about basically I will see you again in later time, even though we won't see each other right now. And in the music videos, there's two versions. The first one is about a dude that is trying to get a girl back. And the second one is about their own concert that was about to start. But Johnny runs out the car because he was believing that, hey, there's going to be a bunch of concerts out there, but there's only going to be one girl that will be there from the beginning to the end. Which lead also in the end of Lewis following him too. And they both perform their own songs together in front of the girl. Now, my favorite song from the album is China Girl, which is translated as Like This. I like the song because it broadens their attention to more way out there of Asia. And also in the interlude, they were talking in English about Johnny couldn't really be there for Lewis because he saw a girl that he really likes and she's Chinese. So I thought that was very funny. And also in the concert part, there's also a funny bit in there as well.
You know, I know this girl. She's so cute. I think she looks like that one right there. She's so cute. She got the cheeks like her. She's smile. I just fall in love with her every time I see her. So cute. You mean like China Girl? Yeah.
Speaking of concerts, their first ever concert for people of viewing pleasures was a special that's called Pop on Stage, which a lot of Thailand artists have performed there. And even though it was their very first time, because most of their dance coordination wasn't really there, and their singing was cut from like one point to another, wasn't really matching. That didn't really matter to the people that got to see them. It just mattered that they were rocking the crowd and everybody loved them. Which brings us to their second concert, which makes it the concert of the first that everybody loves and knows, which is the concert of them and another Thailand group called Hijack. The reason why Hijack is there is not only just to show love for the elders that's been there before Raptor, they've also made a song of them together, which is called Yakikwa Turbe Mi Cry, which is translated as Do Not Forget About Me. There's two versions of it. The first version, it includes them being in concert and extra concert footage, which people don't really do concert music videos in, which is kind of sad. And second version, it's about a girl that's been mistreated in their department, and Hijack and Raptor had to come to her to save the day at the end of the video, to come find her. Their second concert that they got to be very informative and let them know that they're really part of the RS crew was the RS meeting. And it had all the other great artists of RS such as Boy Scout, Lift Oil, and many others that see the new generation of the 90s of RS, which it grows only more later in the year. And also the Thailand artist Nook singer was there as well. So in that concert, Raptor, they both dressed up as Fred and Barney from the show The Flintstone to represent the dinosaurs as Raptor, because that's actually how they got their name overall. And they both scared Boy Scouts so they could perform their song Choi Choi, which is translated as help help. After that, Boy Scout gets to confront them, but it's funny because the other group was actually sticking up for Raptor. And they get to perform the song Yakikun Turba Mi Cry and also the song Friends. So that ends that. But it's not over of 94 because they get to tour more of Lift Oil in other places that were in Thailand. A fun thing to mention is that on their free time, what they like to do is rollerblading and do naughty things every now and then, which is like throw water balloons. Until one event, it actually got on their cassette and they got very scolded for it. Now on to the year 1995, 2,538. At this point, they didn't really have much concerts to do except for the RS Freshly Jams. And also by the end of 94, their albums was kind of a little confusing to older teens and adults, but the kids and younger teens started to love it, so they started to make certain other like promotional albums and promotional pictures so RS can not only keep the group but sell the group even further. Now by 95, Joni had to do a movie at this point, which is translated in Thai as Extreme Game Dek Leba. And the plot of the movie, it's 6 teams that involve Boy Scout, Lift Oil, and Nook, where many actors and many actresses had to escape the bank or else it will explode. But I recommend it's a pretty good movie. Dek Leba, Extreme Game. Now, also, Joni and Louis made a cameo in a movie called Romantic Blue, where one of the main characters of the movie took Louis's jacket, and Louis replied in English, "Hey, Johnny, where's my jacket?" Which is revealing Joni Anwar just looking confused. I'm like, didn't you have it? He doesn't say that, but that's the look he gives Louis. Now after that, it was time to start something new of a second album, their sophomore album, of Raptor of 1996. You usually say it's hard to do, but they managed to not only pull that off, but they made a third album in the same year with 3 other concerts, with also more projects that was there for them at that point in time. From 94 to 95, they were very early teens, to 12 to 11, but now since it's 96, it's kind of like a new demographic that they gotta reach to for older teens, which their second album that is called WAP Boys is exactly what it's about. Now at this point, Johnny is 15 and Louis is 14. Now, the thing that's been very different from beforehand is that now both of them, they get to sing separate and each other, because from the first album you get to really hear Johnny a lot more than you hear Louis. And it's not even like in the first album you don't really get to hear Louis at all. It's just a little. But in the second album, it had such more of an improvement to hear them both together, and also hear Louis' singing abilities more. Now, the fashion sense for the album WAP Boys is they're wearing flashy jackets and clothes, futuristic glasses, and also just baggy jeans, really look like the future of 2000s. That was the look that they were going for. Although Raptor were very confused of what they had to dress up as, but they know they had to do it to appeal to their audience, Johnny, words of confusement, was saying, in quote in English, "We look like traffic controllers." For those who don't know what traffic controllers are, which are people that guards the kids from school buses. So this album is about serious more problems than the first album, meaning content of like breaking up, falling in love, and a lot of teen dramas just like that. And their most popular song from it that's been remixed 3 times is the song Oat Pyk, which means please don't talk. In the original version of the music video, and it was my, believe it or not, the first music video I ever saw, like I've said before, it was where Johnny was using Photoshop to have fun, to make copies of himself sitting on the couch, Louis seeing what was going on, and then a girl that appears to be Johnny's girlfriend, and basically she wanted to talk to him, so they step into the room with Louis looking and feeling sorry for him because he doesn't want to really deal with that, and he's very worried for his friend. And the girl is saying things on like, why don't you take me out anymore, or why can't you treat me like this guy? Then Johnny's alter ego of himself with sunglasses and a band around the sunglasses is talking to him and saying, this was all hopeless in the first place, you just gotta give up and just stop comparing it, which that's what he wants to say to the girlfriend. Then Louis, as his alter ego, shows up, and it makes Johnny feel better to stand up to her, to say, hey, I can't be those things, and you gotta just let me be who I am. Which the most favorite part of the videos is him putting his index finger over the girl's mouth, just to say, please, like, we gotta let this end. I can't be like any guy that you want me to be, which causes her to leave. And that was the end of the video, which it did make him happy on the inside, but it made him sad on the outside. The second remix of Oat Pyk featured another RS promotional artist named Pookie, who also got to rap on the track. And speaking of Pookie and Raptor, they both got to do a concert together 3 times in the same year. It includes the Extreme Game concert featuring WAP Boys and Pookie. Now, one thing I want to point out before we get to their third album called Day Shock, what they also did beforehand was a concert with all the other RS members called Super Teens. And basically it's exactly how it sounds. Also, fun fact for the Yimwai music video, which is Smile, there's a little boy that's swimming towards Boy Scout and having fun with them, and that's Johnny's younger brother named Anan Anwar. Now on to their third album, Day Shock, which was released in August of 1996. From their last album, they had more of original songs that were there. But on this one, it's a little different because they have sing cover songs such as Live for Today, I Just Don't Want to Be Lonely, and I'll Never Dance Again. And also, I Was Made for Dancing, which was a huge hit for Thailand because it's just them to show off their English ability and also for it to be named a cover. Now, the thing that's been different of the costume changes just like last time is their hair is now like brown, just like in the Super Teen. Their hair from the last album, Johnny's hair was all red and just like dyed, and they had to wear glasses and flashy clothes. But this time around for Day Shock, it's all pure, just saying like angels, basically. That's what they look like. One of my favorite songs from the album Day Shock is the song Inspiration. In the music video, it shows children coming out in the middle of the night after just seeing like lights that shine on, and it shows Raptor controlling the nightlife, and all the kids are out in the middle of the night running in the streets. Now, one of the girls that has asthma couldn't really keep up with the kids that woke up first, but thankfully she had friends that were there for her, and that's pretty much the song Inspiration. And also for Johnny to sing in English for the hook before in the end of the video they sung it right back to Thai, which also there's a second version of Inspiration, which is called the Friends version, which also inspired McDonald's and lots of stuff like that, where everybody gets together and they does this pinky thing where it represents them as friends. One of their concerts at this point was called Let's Shock, where they not only sung the songs on Day Shock, but they also sung other songs of Japanese artists and other covers of overseas songs in the concert, which also features another RS promotional artist named Do. Now, here comes the year I was born, which in their case, they did the next. I was born in 1997. In their year, it's called 2540. In the next, it had songs of them with pretty much all boys this time around. That also featured J.R. Voy, Lift Oil, Dome, and possibly many artists that they could fit around. And they've also had a concert that's been sponsored by Pepsi, which is very huge for them. And now I am going to get to the saddest moment that no one was really ever expecting at this time. In the year 98, they have released their fourth and final album along with the memory called Sayonara Goodbye. And just like the last album, they had costume changes, which basically says goodbye, sayonara, and they're just dressed up in just like fine young gentlemen. And it's at this point, you know, they're really getting older. They're getting older to the point where they're becoming young men and starting to make decisions for themselves. And that was possibly why they wanted to end the group. Early from before, their costume design, they didn't really like them, but they didn't really have any freedom to say, hey, we don't want to wear these. Although us fans didn't really mind, it actually hurt them in the inside earlier because they didn't have control on anything, and it started hurting more for them to do albums. And they also felt like they've missed out on their childhood. As Joni put it, we're not really Michael Jackson or anything, but we really feel like we missed out on being kids, of being who we really want to be. But thankfully, during the whole time period, he had Louis take care of him when anything goes wrong, and same versa for Louis to have Johnny when anything went down. They knew they had to end it at one point or another, and that is when the Sayonara Goodbye album came out in very early in 1998, and fans, I would believe, were very devastated that the two duos that pretty much made Thailand the way it is have been broken up. But the good news of the matter is they didn't really break up, because not only they gotten back to RS, they've also done solo projects around the way. They gotten back together again and still touring around Thailand and pretty much overseas as well. Also, Johnny's younger brother, Anan Anwar, in 99 through 2005, was also becoming an artist too, and he has helped them out. So there's some good news there. Also, during the concert of the Sayonara Goodbye, in the end of it, showing memories and support that Raptor had for their fans, and a lot of other things that helped them out during the beginning all the way to the end. In the end of their concert, they have translated of said, by tomorrow there will be no more Raptors, which pretty much, if I was young at the time and I was in Thailand, I think I'd cry my eyes out of just hearing no more Raptors, no, like just pandemonium. I don't really know much of information of that, but I'm pretty sure their biggest fans were very devastated. And also when Annie came out during the X Venture, it shows a sign of one of the girls holding Johnny Didi, which is Anan and Johnny's older brother, and Anan, a sign like this, and just proves that the hope is still alive during that time of 99. But the moral of the story is, this is how I got into Thai. And I just want to say to you all, thank you for watching. I wanted to really do this report, and I feel like one day I could probably meet them and also, do this report. Because I'm doing this also in honor for Clear Cassette, because I've tried to find his WordPress document to do more research, but apparently the site got taken down, so I'm doing it under his behalf. And also rest in peace for Joe from Boy Scout as well, because he will also be missed from the Thailand community and the RS community, and possibly Raptors community as well. Kapun ka. Thank you guys for watching this video. And before I go, shoutouts for this go to Joni Anwar, Louis Scott, Anan Anwar, Boyscoutfanclub, Clear Cassette, RS Friends, All About Joni Anwar, Joni Anwar to Louis Scott, Tim Fararang, Narorat Nualchan, Oat Pyk, pajeablpfc, and RS the Time Machine. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all again next time. Peace. Now, right off the bat, it's been about 5 years since I've gotten into the group. Excuse me. In today's topic, I'm going to be talking about Thailand, but not just Thailand. Kind of like the other video I did for Russia, it's going to be my favorite people in Thailand. But doesn't sound right.